Hi, I'm Jennet Ingle, the 5-Minute Reedmaker. If you're watching this on YouTube, please click subscribe for me. This way you can always find out when I drop new episodes, and it makes it easier for other people to find my channel and to become better reedmakers and happier musicians. Thank you. Today, I'm responding to a question from Jill. Jill asked me to talk about the Reed Geek because for her, with a little bit of arthritis in her hands, she is having trouble using a regular knife, and she's really, really comfortable with this Reed Geek. Do I find it useful? So I've spent a little bit of time experimenting with a Reed Geek that I happened to have in my collection. This is not a particularly new item. It's been around for a while, and I'm just going to say up front, it's not for me. I find it frustrating because I cannot get a real, grab with it the way I can with a knife. But I see its attractions. And because it is not actually a knife or even very sharp at all, it is a thing that you can take with you on an airplane. It is a thing that, your high school students who have to go through metal detectors to go into their schools and have a zero tolerance policy on weaponry, but still need to adjust their reeds, this could come with them into the school. Not that it's not metal, but that it's clearly not an actual weapon. It barely scrapes reeds. And what people like about it, and what I see as attractive in it, is that there are a lot of different uses and a lot of different edges that you can work with. The question that I ask myself is, sure, I can hold it and scrape little tiny bits off of my reed. I get it. I could see how it could be used for final adjustments if this was the only thing I had with me. Can I actually finish a reed with this? I'm pretty sure that it's not worth trying to start a reed with this. There's just too much scraping that has to happen early on in the early stages of making a reed. But let's say that you've got a profiled reed, or let's say that you've got a day one reed that you've already day one and it already beeps and crows. Can you use a device like this to actually get your reed finished? Let's find out. Okay, so I have a few day one scrapes here, and my question is, using this Reed Geek with its, black diamond edges, with its various curved, inset, beveled blades, here, and here, and here. There's a lot of variety, and every edge gives you a little bit of a different burr, right? I can use any part of this to scrape with. Can I actually finish a reed? So here's my day one reed, which, as you heard, is crowing kind of low, is started but not refined at all. I'm gonna try. I feel like the first thing I need to do here is pet the kitty. I always need to thin the sides and corners of the tip, and I really need to set in some windows to define the heart a little bit better. So let's see what I can do. If I move up to the here, as usual, as I'm working up in the tip area, I think it's my finger behind the reed that is the primary driver for what's happening here. But I am indeed able to direct this device to take tiny, tiny amounts off of the sides and corners of the tip. And because that scrape is probably the most useful one we ever do, I could say that having a Reed Geek with me, if it was the only thing I had, would certainly enable me to get good use from it up at the tip. I can definitely manage petting the kitty with the Reed Geek. Okay, I feel like I need to clip, and I can't clip with a Reed Geek, or at least I can't imagine how I could clip with a Reed Geek. So your high school student that we're talking about would probably need to have a razor blade tucked in the case as well. All right. What I really need to do now is define the windows. Can I get enough cane out in the center of the channel without destroying the rails? And can I leave a clear enough distinction between the windows Oh, there we go. Can we leave a clear enough distinction between the windows and the heart? I do find it pretty attractive that I can just like keep rotating the knife and I find an edge everywhere I go. I don't really love these inset bevels like you see here or like you see here. I sort of don't like that as I scrape there, my knife is less visible to me and less, like as I scrape, I can't quite see what I'm scraping because the scraping edge is below the angle. So in other words, I prefer to do something like this so I can see what's coming off. But I could imagine for a person that was a little less confident than I, having this cut away might feel really safe, especially up at the tip area, to help them not take too much out from the center. Okay, what was I doing? Focusing on the windows. I'm getting more than I thought I would. And I am, seemingly, able to leave the delineation that I wanted. All right. I have to use a knife to clip. If I had a razor blade handy, I would use that instead. I don't hate this. I'm feeling just a little bit, as I clipped into thickness, so I'm feeling like the very, very end of the reed has a little bit of extra thickness to it. Let's see if I can find that with my geek. I know that this little tippy tip bit is a cutting edge as well. I'm a little skeptical of it because I don't like the way my fingers feel. I don't feel like I'm really in contact with the reed, so I'm going to go back to using this like a knife. It's a little bit difficult for me to get this like final lip of thickness. And as always, like I don't know that it's about the knife so much as about the direction and intensity of my reed holding hand. My left hand, first finger, and thumb. But that's much better now. I feel like I need a little clip here. Again, if I couldn't have my knife, I would have a very small razor blade tucked in here. I will say that, again, this device, it's not really for me. The speed at which, and I'm just going to grab my other day one here, the speed at which I can do this work with my actual knife is so much greater. And I do have a lot of experience working in this way. I am more comfortable with my knife. But that does not mean that this Reed Geek is a useless device. It took the cane off. I was able to direct it exactly where I needed it. I like that it's a device that, as far as the marketing indicates, never needs to be sharpened. And it can go with you where a knife cannot. So, I hope that this has been helpful. This has been a 5-minute Reedmaker lesson. You can follow these short videos here on YouTube. You can subscribe if you wish. I hope you will. And if you need to reach me to order reeds or cane or a new Chirugi knife or my book, The Happiest Musician, or to ask me a question that we can answer in a future 5-minute Reedmaker episode, you can find me at jennetingle.com. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.